Hey friends, welcome to Make Anything. It's Devin here, and in today's video, we're gonna be making some more 3D pen Patreon pegboard pixels. If that name doesn't explain everything, well basically, I create these little 3D pen artworks for my pegboard based on the requests of my Patreon supporters. So it's a fun way for my patrons to participate in the channel. It's my way of saying thank you for the financial support, and people seem to enjoy watching me make them, so it's some good 3D pen content as well. And well, it's been a while since I made one of these videos, so we've got over 40 new pixel requests. I've got all my 3D pens here, including several of the Mint 3D Professional 3D pen, which is kind of my recent favorite. They sent me several, so I don't have to do quite as many color changes, which is great, because they also sent me a whole bunch of new colors. So, with that said, we've got work to do, and it's gonna get done. Let's do it. Cool. All right, so I've got plenty of blank pixels 3D printed and ready to go. And I'll hold those in place on this box to make it a little easier to draw. My first request comes from Brian Zeke, who wanted a whale shark. And I don't have any ocean blue, so we're gonna use sky blue. Kind of ironic. Anyways, I'll heat up my Mint 3D Professional 3D pen up to around 195 degrees Celsius. And I'll purge out my last filament until we've got some consistent sky blue coming out. Ooh, all right, it's been a while. The 3D pen is always tricky, but I think I'll get used to it. I'll start out by filling the entire background with this blue. But beyond color, we can also create texture. So I'll create this kind of wave texture as I fill it up, which will help turn that sky blue into more of an ocean blue. Then I can switch to a nice dark gray and create the silhouette of my whale shark here. And I'll do a few passes over the body to make it a little bit thicker and give it a bit of 3D volume. Then with a lighter gray, I can add those signature speckles of the whale shark. A lot of people said that my 3D pen great wide shark looked a lot like a whale shark, and I don't disagree, so in some sense, I have some practice here. Anyways, here's that whale shark for Brian Zeke. This next request is for Yusuf, who wanted the initials YS, for their own name, I presume. So, to make it interesting, I did a 4-color background, and then I filled that up with this nice deep purple, and some thin white line work on top to make it very interesting. Why yes, I did make this YS. The next request comes from Black Bite, who simply asked for beer. So I'm gonna go ahead and create this golden beer bottle, give it some volume at the center, and then I'll wrap it with this red label and a red top, and a big B, so you know it's beer. There we go, beer for Black Bite. Cheers. Next up, we've got the request of Andy Fair. Andy wanted me to create the Welsh flag, which is quite a tricky one, but also pretty cool with this big red dragon on it. There was a lot of detail to fit in here, but I think I did a pretty good job. And if that isn't tricky enough, Andy also wanted me to pronounce the motto of Wales. So, Cymru am byd. Oh yeah, nailed it. Next up, Chris M wanted me to draw the Buick logo, which is a pretty tricky one. It's got these 3 shields all surrounded by this dark blue emblem. So we'll go ahead and fill in each shield with 1 color at a time, and then I'll do the final touch with this silver filament. And this is where I'd probably rattle off a fun Buick fact, if I had one. The next request comes from Ashley, who asked me to draw Charizard. And I didn't have the perfect color for the wings, but I think this color changing blue-green to yellow-green from that Mint 3D filament pack could work out. The yellow-green isn't right, but once it cools down, it should be a pretty good color for those wings. We'll throw this nice bright orange on top and fill in our Charizard. I'd say Charizard was definitely among my top 10 favorite Pokemon back in the day, so I'm excited to get a Charizard up on the pegboard. And here it is finished up with those wings cooled down, so you can see that some of that blue came back into the wing color. The next request comes from Taft Mangum, and Taft asked me to create the Luxo ball, which is known for appearing here and there through various Pixar films. So I'll start with a bit of a Toy Story background, and because this is a ball, I had to make it pretty spherical. So I really built this one up, and I even used my little technique of creating this frame to help create that 3D shape, which I then filled in with a few more supports and then entirely covered. And to finish it off, we're gonna do the bright red star in the middle here. Stars are tricky, but I think I did a decent job. Boing, boing, boing. There it is, Luxo. Maybe a little deflated, but it works. This next pixel is for Ben, who asked me to do something scuba themed. He mentioned a mask and snorkel or an underwater diver, and I decided to try throwing it all in there. So here is my diver silhouette, and then I'll add in some accents with the yellow, that snorkel and that mask. We'll put a tank on the back and strap that down with a few more details. And there is our diver. I'm actually not sure how often divers use both a tank and a snorkel at the same time, but if I'm wrong, I blame it on the clip art I referenced. Our next request is for Chase and Carly, who wanted a sugar glider. So I started out by filling in the background with that same color changing filament, so this will turn a little more blue. And then I'll go ahead and fill in our sugar glider with a nice furry texture. And of course I had to go for the gliding pose here, so our little sugar glider has its arms and legs outstretched, and we'll give it little pink paws, a nose, and these big beady eyes. Super cute. Whee! This next one is for Bailey, and Bailey is a deaf individual, so they asked me to create a hearing aid with a cool colored ear mold. Now, drawing an ear is tough enough for me in 2D, so doing one in 3D with the pen was quite a challenge, but I gave it my best shot. Then we'll fill in the background here to make it stand out. And as for the color of the ear mold, I thought I might try another color changing one, since that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna use this pink to purple PLA that also came in the Mint 3D PLA pack. Coming out of the pen, it looks more orange than anything, which was quite a surprise. And just to bedazzle this hearing aid a bit more, I decided to go with this glittery golden PLA for the ear clip. Here it is, and you can see that the ear mold turned purple again, but I kind of prefer that original color, so we'll see if it ever changes color just from the ambient room temperature. For today's final 2x1 pixel, Artifacts asked me to draw the letter A in the style of my choosing. So I gave it a fancy striped background, and then I made this nice big tall letter A with this midnight blue, and then I used a lighter blue on top of that to give it a bit of a glowing effect. A. Okay, so those were the bigger pixels for today's video, and now I just had to pump out another 32 small square pixels for the rest of my patrons. Cole Cooper wanted a gay Pac-Man.
Waka 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 waka.
For Nick Schaefer's, it's the PewDiePie Brofist. And for Elvin, it's Michael from Vsauce. Or is it? Shane wanted the letter Z in the style of my Numbers project, so I went with a stripy one. And for Elizabeth, we have the flag of Texas. For Quentin Zurich, we have this dome monument from the game Rust. And for Jack, we have this rat in front of the full moon. Martin B asked me to doodle RMK for the mechanical keyboard subreddit. And Maria asked me to draw a rocket, so I went with the SpaceX Starship. For RoboLizard222, I attempted their logo. And Shadefox wanted me to do their profile picture. Here we have the open source symbol requested by Jay. And for Aditya Sriram, we have Kik Batowski. Izzy also wanted a fox, so I went with a cute pointy-eared fennec fox for this one. And here we have the Unity logo for Zachary Snyder. Gunn asked me to draw the logo of his 3D printing related university project group. And the Mighty Samosa asked me to draw this 3D Indian samosa. For Ben, we have this lovely latte art. And for Michael Alm, we have the logo for his website, almfab.com. For Cass, we have yet another fox, although this one is floating in space. And for Peter, it's this green tea leaf with the initials KRT on it. Fargo Naz asked for the Arizona flag. And for Bill, we have the logo of F.H. Bielefeld. Here's the knight from Hollow Knight for Winston. And Alan Shetry asked for a 3D rejected animal, so I went for my Bananard. For Will Hinsley, I drew the Lego Jango Fett icon from the Lego Star Wars video game. And for JJ, we have this pink, blue, and white Pacific octopus. Here we've got another cute rat for Techromancer. And for James DeBelka, it's a trombone. Brandon Maestas wanted this Warriors of Sunlight symbol from Dark Souls. And for Sabrina, we've got some Tetris blocks. Eric asked me to draw this flame dude. And for Ejnar, we have this poly panel with the letter E in the middle. And now for the fun part, I get to add all these new pixels to the pegboard to add to this growing collection. So just like that, we've got another awesome round of pixels on the pegboard. I'm so excited to keep growing this thing, and it just keeps getting more impressive, especially to me considering that these all represent supporters of Make Anything on Patreon. I've been going on for almost 5 years now, and I'm so grateful to still have viewers and people excited to see what I come up with next. So, it's not too late to add your own pixel to the pegboard. You can always join the fun at patreon.com/makeanything. And well, I'm interested to know which pixel was your favorite today. Which one did I completely screw up? I'd love to hear your opinion. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today's video. So, I'll see you in the next one. And until then, I'm Devin, this is Make Anything, and as always, stay inspired.